So hey anime fans, the series name is What If Naruto and Scarlet So let's start the series. The Pinnacle of Paradise, initially made by the Dark Wizard Zeref, presently in X776 is being reproduced by a religion, attempting to restore Zeref, the faction grab grown-ups and kids the same to complete the pinnacle. Among the detainees are two kin, 11-year-old Urza Red and 8-year-old Naruto Red. These two were taken from Rosemary Town alongside different kids. At this moment, Naruto and different kids are endeavoring to get away from the pinnacle. The youngsters are driven by Naruto. Said redhead male is remaining at 3 feet 10 inches in level. He has red-hued hair that spikes toward each path, a light tan coloring with a slim casing. All he has on is some short and torn shorts and shackles, penetrating blue eyes brimming earnestly and trust. Naruto, are you certain about this? Naruto heard his more established sister ask him. It's fine, Urzane. We will get strong wizards to come here to save everybody, Naruto said as he glanced over to his more established sister. Look what we have here, a few little slaves that are attempting to escape. Another voice said as the youngsters froze. They before long ended up encompassed by watches and the head of the clique. Before long all youngsters ended up on the ground as the head of the clique remained before them. Thus, whose thought was it to get away? The pioneer hollered as the watchman pushed the kids onto the ground. Urza was going to talk to save the others. However, Naruto and quite possibly of her dearest companion beat her to it. It was us. Naruto and a chaotic blue-haired kid named Jalal Fernandez said as they pioneer halted before them. Monitors, take them for data. I will get my data an alternate way, and to ensure this one keeps that little whelp set up, the pioneer said as he hauled Urza away by her hair. Urzane! Naruto cried as the watchman kicked him in the stomach to quiet him down. After a smidgen seriously battling, the gatekeeper more than once kicked his head to thump Naruto oblivious. After an hour, Naruto and Jalal are held in a cell near the highest point of the pinnacle. Naruto saw something groups Jalal. The last option didn't have a lot of harm to him. The previous had various broken bones and his right eye gouged out. Damn it! Everything harms. Please accept my apologies, Urzane. I probably won't make it, Naruto thought as he battled to keep his blood-covered leftover eye open. Feeble. You are powerless. Naruto battled to search for the proprietor of this voice. Looking into, he saw a thing out of a youngster's bad dreams. A figure shrouded in haziness with 2 sparkling red eyes. Your whole presence is feeble, yet you and I are something similar. So look at this as an endowment of sorts. Naruto started to go crazy as the figure arrived at a shadowed hand to Naruto's head, and it started to retain into the youngster. In one more piece of the Pinnacle of Paradise, Urza just saw a man who she think of her as Granddad penance himself for her out of frustration. She opened a kind of supernatural power, sorcery power, and utilized it to send weapons and devices to the Watchmen. Presently, it simply appears to be irredeemable as clique individuals who knew wizardry showed up. Everything appeared to be lost until there was a blast. Looking towards the blast, she was scared to see a tall, defensively covered figure with shining red eyes start to destroy the Watchmen with pawed hands. Eventually, the Watchmen were left on the ground, all with appendages missing, chests pawed open, or simply being skewered by the monster. The last thing this monster did was let out a satanic thunder that spooky Urza to the bones. Earthy-colored eyes opened as Urza got up in a bed. She took in a couple of times prior to shifting focus over to a different bed. Her younger sibling rested without a sound, with swathes folded over his body. It has been 7 days since they got away from the Pinnacle of Paradise. She found her sibling oblivious soon after the monster vanished. Urza then, at that point, completed her sibling of the Pinnacle and to the organization Pixie Tail. She met the organization Ace Makarov Dreyer, met the inhabitant healer Porliusica and got a counterfeit eye. At this point her sibling actually has not awakened. Urza got up from her bed and laid in her siblings. She held his hand as she shed a couple of tears from her right eye. If it's not too much trouble, awaken. Urza cried in her viewpoints as she wept late into the night. The following day, Naruto started to move in bed, and it awakened Urza. Huh! Urza murmured as she scoured her right eye. She saw Naruto moving and went to get poorly Yusuke. She returned with the elderly person a moment later and both stand over Naruto. The two of them see Naruto's eyes open and panted in shock. His right eye in its typical sparkling blue. However, his left is a consuming ruby. Urza didn't mind thought. Well, not yet in any event. Naruto. Urza cried as she embraced her younger sibling. Said kid was removed watchman by the embrace. Urzane? Naruto asked and embraced his sister back. We made it, Naruto, we're free. Urza said as tears came from her non-fake eye. Naruto was left in shock, however. At that point tears started to stream as he embraced his sister. Poorly Yusuke gave Naruto a mirror and saw his eye. Boss! Blue and red. So cool. Naruto said as he suspected the red eye was a phony eye. Indeed. Seems as though you are conscious. Another voice said as Naruto and Urza shifted focus over to the entryway. Naruto detected a diminutive elderly person. Hi, I am Makarov, organization expert of Pixie Tale. Makarov presented himself. We are in Pixie Tale. Naruto asked as he checked his sister out. Indeed, both of you are not individuals yet as your sister hung tight for you, Makarov said as he took out a stamp. To join the society, you would require an organization mark, Makarov said as he showed his own blemish on his chest. Urza got a blue stamp to her left sidearm while Naruto thought where to get his own. So where will you get yours, Naruto? Makarov asked as he held the stamp. Here on my heart. Best orange you got, Naruto said as he directed his thumb toward his heart. Makarov squeezed the stamp over the kid's heart and an orange stamp showed up. Later in the day, Makarov drove Urza and Naruto to the organization. The two kin are wearing new garments too. Urza is wearing a breastplate with a skirt. Naruto is wearing a sleeveless orange vest with a blue shirt under, some blue shorts and shoes, a couple of green goggles on his head. Finishing his outfit is an orange sets of gloves on his hand. Makarov made the way for Uncover the Society. Individuals battling and individuals drinking is what they saw. Tune in up, imps! Makarov hollered as the organization halted and checked the diminutive elderly person out. We have new relatives to join our organization. Meet Urza and Naruto Red, Makarov said as he motioned to the two redheads. Yo, good to meet you, Naruto said as he streaked them a saucy grin. After 2 years, it has been 2 years after the fact since the kin joined the organization. In that time Urza turned into serious areas of strength for a who utilizes requip sorcery. Naruto himself knows how to utilize an enchanted he was tried different things with back in the pinnacle. A now 10-year-old Naruto is finding a spot at a table in the society as he laid his head on a table, while his sister takes on thrilling missions. As he would see it, Urza compels him to take exhausting missions. The most recent mission was to assist with discovering some woman's feline. He was a great wizard. He didn't simply search for felines. He then saw his sister battling with Mirajane Strauss once more. However, Mirajane or Mira and her kin joined the society barely a month prior, and the previous continually contended with Urza. The female redhead definitely approved of the more youthful assumed control over kin. Essentially, she has somebody to converse with, Naruto thought as he turned away from the contending females. Since they joined the society, Urza has been over defensive of Naruto, excessively much as he would like to think. The more youthful red kin had nobody to truly converse with, as individuals were excessively frightened of Urza to converse with him. With nothing else to do, Naruto furtively took a mission while Urza was occupied, a straightforward elimination of a woodland hunter a town away. Basic as that, Urza could never allow him to take missions like that. Escaping the society, Naruto boarded a train and left Magnolia. Under an hour after the fact, Naruto showed up in the town. Checking the location, it read to go to a little cultivate by the timberland. Following a brief walk, he showed up at the little homestead. "Hi, mage from Pixie Tail," Naruto said as he thumped on the entryway. He was welcomed by a man wearing a cliché rancher's outfit. "Hi, you look somewhat more youthful than I expected," the man said as he motioned for Naruto to come in. Subsequent to presenting himself, the man said that his domesticated animals was being killed by a hunter around evening time. "No issue. I'm on it," Naruto said as he left the house. He didn't get the man's sneer or the way that the man's changed appearance. Then a female's voice was heard. "You will create problems to me later on. I expected to take you out at this point." In the backwoods, Naruto is looking for the hunter. Presently, "I can't help thinking about what sort of creature is it," Naruto pondered to himself as he got around a fallen log. He then, at that point, saw many trees fallen. "That is odd," Naruto said as he arranged his enchantment. He was removed gatekeeper by tree being tossed at him. The kid snatched the log as he was pushed back a foot or somewhere in the vicinity. He then was hit toward the back and sent flying. He involved his feet as an anchor just to get sent flying once more. Naruto scarcely got a brief look at his assailant, a wyvern, really 2 wyverns. "Okay, poo crates," Naruto said as the main wyvern hammered its wing into his back. "Alright, they are little so they are youthful wyverns," Naruto thought as he remained back up. The subsequent one then, at that point, pummeled him into a tree before the wyvern could charge once more. Naruto utilized his enchanted, which made a blast be sent flying vertical. He then, at that point, grasped his right hand to a clench hand, then an orange sparkle framed. This was an enchanted that was made by individuals in the pinnacle. It permits Naruto to retain nearly anything and use it to retaliate wizardry motor energy. That is the things Naruto is certain he can ingest. Naruto can cover himself in his retention sorcery, or as he refers to it as mayhem enchantment as a safeguard, can make little entrance objects, even allows him to utilize crude ether nano. Tumult clench hand, Naruto yelled as he crushed his clench hand onto the ground. This prompted the ground to fold under the power and cause an enormous cavity. One of the youthful wyverns were trapped in the pit and caught under some rubble. The last wyvern accused at Naruto of a more slow speed than previously. Naruto took a full breath as his body shined orange. Turbulent, Naruto started as the wyvern moved nearer, similarly as the wyvern was a foot from the youthful red head. Naruto kicked up vertical. Nuclear, Naruto said as he then streaked over the wyvern. Naruto then got the wyvern as they turned to the ground beneath. Buster, Naruto hollered as the wyvern arrived on its head. Its neck snapped as Naruto let it go. The last option was kneeling down as he started gasping. That was the initial time in some time when I utilized that much of my wizardry, Naruto thought as he took in fast breaths. An uproarious thunder made his blood run cool. A second thunder stronger than the principal made him paler than white. In the cleaning in the wake of destroying trees, a female and male wyvern, the guardians of the youthful wyverns Naruto recently crushed, seeing one of their kids dead and the leftover one near the precarious edge of death, make them let out additional strong thunders. Naruto couldn't cover himself in that frame of mind in time as the female wyvern hit his chest with its wings. The male sent him flying up as the female sent him crashing down, with the effect making a hole. That hurt, Naruto thought as blood spilled from his mouth. I think a couple of bones are broken, Naruto thought as the wyverns overshadowed him. Seems as though you actually need my assistance. That was the final thing Naruto heard before he lost cognizance. The wyverns were surprised as Naruto gleamed with a vile dark quality. Naruto! Urza Red cried as she glanced through the backwoods with 3 different wizards, Mirajane Strauss, Natsu Dragneel, and Dark Fullbuster. Urza constrained the more youthful two mages to join her, and Lisanna had the option to deceive Mira to go along. "Rascal! Naruto! We have ramen!" were the calls of the other three mages. When Urza figured out that Naruto accepted a position, she started beating other Pixie Tail individuals until Macau Conbolt offered her the response. She hauled the other three to help her search for her younger sibling, Naruto. Urza cried as she sliced through a tree with a blade. They were going to get down on more. However, something cut them off, a noisy satanic-sounding thunder. Urza froze as she tumbled to her knees. This is equivalent to previously, Urza thought as she covered her ears with her hands. When the thunder was finished, Urza hopped onto her feet and started searching wildly for her younger sibling. "Naruto!" Urza cried stronger as she hurried to the bearing of the thunder. The other three followed her as the red-haired young lady trimmed through trees. When the four entered the clearing, they froze at seeing a being shrouded in murkiness with shining crimson eyes. It remained over the male wyvern as the female was gutted a couple of meters away. The monster sent its mauled hand into the wyvern's chest and tore out its heart. It squashed the organ in its pawed clench hand, and it confronted the youthful mages. Urza froze in dread as its red eyes met hers. The mages were impacted back as the monster let out a considerably stronger wicked thunder. The mages were sent flying through the trees and thumped oblivious. At the point when Urza and the other three awakened, they tracked down Naruto half-bare and canvassed in blood. Luckily not his blood, however. He currently has 3 hair-like blemishes on each cheek. "Naruto, awaken!" Urza said as she kneed over her sibling, tears framed in her genuine eye. A solitary tear tumbled from her face and arrived on Naruto's. The last option started to jerk as he woke up. "Trauma Center Urzane?" Naruto asked as he admired his elder sibling. Urza prevented the tears from falling as her younger sibling sat up. "You bonehead!" Urza yelled as she hit Naruto in the head. Before he could fall over, Urza brought him into an embrace. "Never get me so stressed at any point down the road." Urza cried as additional tears started falling. "I am grieved, Urzane," Naruto said as he embraced his sister back. "I can't help thinking about what that was." "Was it Naruto?" Mira pondered internally as Natsu and Dim started battling with Urza to occupied. She and Urza just trusted they won't ever see that thing once more. "What occurred?" Naruto asked the more established mages. There was this Natsu started, however, was cut off by Mira and Dark covering his mouth. "You must have prompted a sufficient upheaval for one more animal to come here," Urza immediately said, and trusted the more youthful redhead got it. "All right. Could we at any point return to the society now?" Naruto asked his sister. "Sure, we should return home," Urza replied as she got her younger sibling. However, it irritated Naruto that he was being given a piggyback ride. "Naruto, I guarantee I'll get more grounded for you." "Urzane, I'll get more grounded, so you will not need to stress over me." The two kin thought exactly the same thing, yet the two considerations will conflict with one another later on. That is a story for later, however. No, these two kin will get more grounded for each other. "Come on, Natsu. Get you salmon-haired ass up," a now 16-year-old Naruto Red said as he hauled a wiped-out-looking Natsu Dragneel of the train. Naruto changed a great deal in the years that passed. His face, or fairly a large portion of his body, isn't seen for his outfit. He has on a red raincoat with a high collar, shut by 3x molded dark belts, a matching scarf that covers his lower face, a dark headband that arrives at his lower neck. He doesn't have anything under the overcoat. A dark sets of jeans got into dark boots. Along the midriff region of his overcoat is a dark cross-like example. Other than his confounded eyes and spiky red hair, nothing else is truly seen. At 16 years old, Naruto could make a gathering of ladies become flushed at the smallest look. That is the explanation his sister gave him, the scarf to cover a large portion of his face. You needed to go along due to talk. Presently we should go, Naruto said as he tossed the debilitated Natsu out of the train. You are turning out to be increasingly more like your sister, ordinary Naruto, a flying blue feline said. This is cheerful. Close it, cheerful, Naruto said as he gave the feline a glare. Yes, sir, Blissful said in dread as he traveled to Natsu. Presently, to keep that pink-haired dolt in the clear, Naruto shared with himself as he left the train. Before long, the three pixie-tail individuals are strolling through the town as they see a group. He should be there, Natsu said as he rushed to the group. Naruto thought as he strolled after the more established mage. At the point when he arrived, the group dispensed other than two morons and a light-haired young lady. Natsu, what occurred? Naruto asked as he helped his pink-haired companion up. Gratitude for the assistance, the light-haired young lady said as the three pixie-tail individuals ended up being confounded. Before long, the young lady who presented herself as Lucy offered the three a dinner. Please accept my apologies. I neglected to present myself. My name's Naruto. Naruto presented himself. Around him are many void dishes that were once loaded up with ramen. Good to meet you, Naruto, Lucy said cheerfully. Excuse me, yet I should be off, Naruto said as he left the cafe. The genuine explanation he came to Harjin was to find a mage mimicking as a pixie tail part. Sometime later, Naruto is strolling down a road around evening time when he sees cheerful flying Natsu to the port. Natsu! Cheerful, Naruto said as he ran at an astounding velocity after them. Naruto, in the nick of time. There's a person claiming to be in the organization on that transport, Natsu said out of frustration. Truly? How about we go? Naruto said as he at last tracked down him. Chaos: Naruto said as his feet were covered in orange. Rocket! Naruto said as he sent himself traveling to the boat that was out to the ocean. Subsequent to hovering over the boat, Naruto quit utilizing his enchantment and tumbled to the boat. Not prior to doing a few wonderful flips midair. Arriving on the boat in a squatting position, men of the supposed lizard were scared at his appearance. Lizard, I've come for you, Naruto said in his most scary manner of speaking. Naruto, Lucy said as her new companion came to save her. However, that just completely demolished his incredible entry. Wahahaha, your name's Fishcake. Lizard snickered close by his men. Naruto then, at that point, showed up despite Lizard with his good faith confronting the last option. It implies whirlwind, Naruto said as the men of Lizard fell individually. Naruto, you didn't leave any for us, Natsu said as Blissful flew him over the boat. Cheerful dropped the salmon-haired high schooler onto the boat and fled haired female to somewhere safe and secure. Natsu ended up being debilitated when he contacted the deck of the boat. Actually don't have the foggiest idea how that generally occurs, Naruto thought as he gazed down at the more seasoned mage. Seems as though I need to manage both of you prior to going out for additional young ladies to take to Bosco, Lizard said as he shaped an enchanted seal. Unmistakable quality whip, Lizard said as he sent purple floods of fire at Naruto. The last option got his wiped-out friend and hopped very high. Your flares are truly sluggish, Naruto provoked as he effortlessly avoided the fire. Subsequent to arriving on the deck, Naruto pointed his right hand at his adversary as it was covered in his orange-hued wizardry. Confusion. Naruto started as an enchanted circle shaped as he dropped Natsu onto the deck. He was removed as the boat was apparently thrown, to the ocean side. Since Natsu was still with his movement infection, he was flung off the boat. On the ocean front, Lucy and Cheerful were in shock as one of Lucy's heavenly souls, Aquarius utilized her water sorcery to toss the boat onto the ocean side. The blue feline saw Natsu going to crash onto the sand, similarly as Blissful was going to travel to his closest companion. Natsu arrived on an enormous heap of pink fleece. "Great job, Aries," Naruto said as he arrived on top of the boat. Lucy then, at that point, saw a lovely pink-haired young lady becoming flushed and looking bashfully from Naruto's recognition. The blonde then considered the smash horns on her head. "She's a divine soul," Lucy said in shock. "Yes, Aries the slam," Cheerful said. Natsu leaped to join Naruto on the boat. "In this way, is Naruto a divine soul mage?" Lucy asked, as she didn't anticipate that he should have one of the 12 zodiac. "Unfortunately, I'm his main soul," Aries said with the blush still all over. "Presently you said you're an individual from the Pixie Tail organization," Natsu said as he strolled to Lizard. "No doubt so," Lizard said as one of his men recovered cognizant. "In light of the fact that," Natsu said as he lost his red coat, "I'm Natsu from Pixie Tail. What's more, I've never seen you," Natsu said as he showed his red organization blemish on his arm. "Natsu's an individual from Pixie Tail," Lucy said in shock. "Yes, Naruto and I as well," Blissful said as he ate a fish from someplace. "This person's the genuine article Bora," Bora's presently cognizant toady said in dread. "Don't call me that," Lizard hollered. "Bora the unmistakable quality, removed from the Titan Nose Society for manhandling your sorcery," Naruto said as he folded his arms. "Both of you are getting me frantic, Red Skull," Bora said as he sent an enormous circle of fire at the two mages. Natsu got the chunk of fire with his hands. He then continued to breathe in the fire, stunning Bora and Lucy. "Gratitude for the grub pretender," Natsu said with a sneer. "I swear I've seen him previously, the pink-haired, scaly-looking scarf. He's the genuine," Bora's flunky said as Lucy completed his sentence. "Lizard," Lucy said in shock. "I'm completely started up. Fire mythical beasts thunder," Natsu said as he sent a light emission from his mouth. The assault hit Bora and obliterated piece of the boat. "You overdid it again, Natsu," Naruto said as he bounced down onto the ocean side. He then, at that point, hopped out of sight and established his foot onto Bora's chest as the last option was utilizing his sorcery to fly in the air. "Noticeable quality hurricane," Bora said as he sent a twisting rush of fire at Naruto. Bora grinned speculation 1 when his assault hit Naruto. His sneer evaporated when he saw Naruto holding his forgot-about hand as it gleamed orange with his wizardry. "How did Naruto do that? A spell of some sort?" Lucy asked Cheerful and Aries. "Naruto's enchantment is extraordinary. While there are comparable kinds of sorcery, they don't work like his." Aries started as she never took her eyes of Naruto. Naruto can ingest any sort of enchantment and utilize the enchanted energy to drive his own. He calls it mayhem sorcery, in addition to the fact that it permits him to retain wizardry. Yet additionally to utilize crude ether nano, Aries said as Lucy became stunned. "To have the option to utilize crude ether nano is astonishing." "My turn, disarray tropical storm," Naruto said as an orange wizardry circle shaped. He then, at that point, sent a spiraling light emission at Bora. The last option figured out how to evade in time and looked scared. "Presently I know what your identity is. The red coat, red hair, befuddled eyes. You're the red Shinigami," Bora said as Lucy looked confounded. "Red Shinigami?" Lucy asked as that name sounded recognizable. Red Shinigami, red coming from his red-hued hair, and Shinigami for his wizardry. The justification behind being known as a Shinigami is for the obliteration he causes. One more explanation is his weapon. Aries said as she saw Naruto hit Bora directly in the gut. Also, many individuals guaranteed he was the divine force of the afterlife because of the dismay he gives individuals. Aries contemplated internally. I'm burnt out on messing around. Time to end this, Naruto said as he showed up behind Bora. Disarray knuckle, Naruto said as he covered his clench hand and pummeled his clench hand on Bora's back. The last option was sent flying and going through structures in Harjin prior to hitting a chime on a structure. Isn't that a little over the edge? Lucy said in shock as she saw all the obliteration Naruto caused. Is that the military? Blissful said as he took off. We should leave, Natsu said as he ran while hauling Lucy. Naruto flew close to them with a becoming flushed red Aries in his arms. Where are you taking me? Lucy cried as she attempted to hold her dress down. Well, you said you needed to join Pixie Tail, Naruto said as Aries returned to the Divine Soul world out of shame. So we should go, Natsu said cheerfully as Lucy wheezed briefly. Better believe it. We should go, Lucy said as they took off from the military. Well, this is all there is to it, Pixie Tail, Natsu said as they remained external the society entryways. I can barely handle it. I made it, Lucy thought as Natsu approached the entryway. He then kicked the entryways open. We're home, Natsu hollered as individuals from the organization investigated at him. One specifically a man with buck teeth. Hello, Natsu. I heard what occurred in Harjin Dash. The man would have said more notwithstanding Natsu kicking him solidly in the face. This caused one more fight in the society while Lucy was left stunned. Sit back and relax. This happens a great deal, a white-haired magnificence said as she approached Lucy. Kaya, it's the genuine Mira Jane, Lucy said in a fan-young lady-like tone, prior to whatever else was said. Mira paid heed to a specific red shroud wearer. Gracious Naruto, I didn't see you. The second Mira said those words, the entire organization went quiet. Then individuals started to mumble in the society. He's back. Does Urza has any idea about where he went? He's actually wearing that. I can't help thinking about how much harm was brought about by his enchantment once more. These were a portion of the things said by individuals in the society. Would you like some ramen, Naruto? Mira asked, wanting to quiet Naruto before he followed through with something. The second she said ramen, Naruto was at the bar counter sitting tight for it. Everything hushed up until Natsu began contending with a half-stripped teen. Then, at that point, the entire organization began a fight once more. Nobody appeared to mind. That is until Natsu and Dim found Naruto, causing the more youthful mage to spill his ramen. Run. Try not to think back. Recently run. Natsu and Dark hollered as they endeavored to run from the red-haired high schooler. Naruto snatched them from the neckline of their materials and lifted them up. Naruto then, at that point, turned his head and confronted the entryways. The entryways then strongly shut, cutting the individuals from the organization from leaving. They endeavored to compel the entryway open with wizardry, yet before long found the entryway covered in Naruto's sorcery. Natsu, Dark, both of you just dedicated an extraordinary sin. Naruto talked in a quiet yet frightening tone. We didn't intend to spill your ramen, Naruto-sama, Dim said as he felt like he was going to piss his jeans, or he would in the event that he was wearing jeans. Well, since you apologized, I get it's all right, Naruto said as the other two let their watchman down. Truly? Natsu asked, yet Dark covered his mouth from saying anything more. Natsu before long found his scarf forced on him. He was then tossed out of the organization through the rooftop alongside Dark, the last option who had his own fighters pushed inside his mouth. There, the miscreants have been rebuffed, Naruto said as he plunked down once more. A couple of moments pass and Natsu and Dim entered the society. The last option seemed as though he vomited up a tempest. In that time, Lucy was acquainted with Makarov and accepted her pink organization stamp, as Naruto partook in another bowl of ramen. He heard a discussion of Romeo Conbolt, child of society part Mikao Conbolt, and Makarov. He saw Romeo punch Makarov across the face and run out of the organization. Naruto stood up, cut his chopsticks into the bar counter, and left the society. The individuals, with the exception of Lucy, were all astonished he left his ramen half got done. Lucy, being the dunce she was for parts of the series, chose to ask the self-evident, "For what reason is everybody shocked that he left his ramen?" Lucy asked Mira as they saw Natsu leave. Moreover, "Nothing and I amount to nothing can get Naruto to turn upward from his ramen," Mira said as Lucy's sweat dropped. "For what reason did they leave like that?" Lucy asked the more established mage. "All things considered, I get this is on the grounds that they see themselves in Romeo," Mira said as Lucy looked befuddled. "See, when Natsu was a young man, he was raised by a winged serpent," Mira said as Lucy gestured. "On one occasion Igneel left Natsu. Since that day, Natsu battles to see his dad again sometime in the not-so-distant future," Mira said as she calmly inhaled. Naruto is an alternate case. While Naruto has a more seasoned sister, she frequently peers down on him. He simply needs to impress her. It's hard for him as he doesn't get a lot of help from anybody in the organization. They dread on the off chance that they support him. His sister will get them, Mira said as individuals who heard peered down. On MT, Hakob, Naruto Natsu blissful aren't impacted by the snowstorm that is going on. Lucy anyway is griping about it. "Mikao," Naruto called out. Natsu and cheerful continued in suit. "How are you three not cold?" Lucy cried as Naruto got irritated. The red-haired male spread his arms separated and his hands sparkled orange. He caught his hands as a duplicate of his jacket showed up. He gave the coat to Lucy, trusting she will quit grumbling. He then, at that point, leaped far removed when a monkey-like animal bounced down. A Vulcan. "Ladies! Me like ladies," the Vulcan said as he checked Lucy out. "Hello, monkey. Where is Mikao?" Natsu hollered as he highlighted the Vulcan. The last option smacked Natsu away and went to snatch Lucy. He would have gotten Lucy notwithstanding Naruto remaining before the blonde female. "I'll say this once. Where is Mikao?" Naruto said he got the Vulcan's wrist. The Vulcan endeavored to go after with its other hand, yet was met with Naruto hammering his knee into its jaw. The Vulcan was sent flying once more into the snow. Being a shrewd monkey animal, the Vulcan took off into the mountains. "Get back here," Naruto said as he gleamed orange and flew after the Vulcan. Up the mountain in a cavern, Naruto entered and frowned at the Vulcan. "Okay, you congested monkey. Where's Mikao?" Naruto said as he broke his clench hands. The Vulcan beat his clench hands against its chest and charged at Naruto. Naruto started to avoid the congested monkey's assault effortlessly. Seeing an opening, Naruto established an orange-covered clench hand into the Vulcan's stomach. "Ora," Naruto said as the punch sent the Vulcan colliding with the wall. The Vulcan was thumped oblivious before it even hit the stopping point. It then started to gleam as Naruto's eyes enlarged. "I neglected. Vulcans can utilize assumed control over wizardry, so this one must have assumed control over Mikao," Naruto said as his oblivious and harmed companion shaped where the Vulcan was. At the point when Natsu, Blissful, and Lucy showed up, they saw Naruto treating a harmed Mikao. "Hello Natsu and cheerful. Figure you can assist me with returning to Romeo?" Mikao said as Natsu grinned. Soon thereafter, Naruto laid in his bed somewhere down in thought. How much more grounded do I need to get to demonstrate to Urzane? To demonstrate to everybody? To demonstrate to myself that I am solid. Naruto thought as he brought his clenched hand up high. He then, at that point, shut his eyes. He'll ponder that on a later date, this moment its opportunity to rest. It's been a couple of days since Naruto and company saved Mikao from MT Hakob, and honestly Naruto was exhausted. He is sitting alone at the bar in the organization, as Natsu hauled Lucy on a task with Blissful. "I'm exhausted." The red-haired 16-year-old groaned as he laid his head on the bar counter. "Well, how about you go on a task? There may be a fascinating one now," Mira said as she served an anonymous part a plate of food. "Message received," Naruto said as he hopped up from his seat and checked the mission exhausted, knocking somewhat by Catch, who is as yet searching for a task, beating a stream beast, halting a frenzied man in red who is eating mushrooms. Man, these positions appear to be quite simple. Naruto started until one grabbed his attention. Cooperation mission. Safeguard paleontologist team in baffling swampland ruins. "Hello, Mira. Have you known about the organization called Kate Safe House?" Naruto called out as he approached the model with the mission slip close by. "Gracious, no doubt. They're a fairly little organization, so relatively few individuals are familiar them. Unusual this journey explicitly requested them, however," Mira said as the more youthful mage put down at the bar. "Well, this was the most fascinating one I found. So sign me up," Naruto said as Mira grinned and stepped the paper. "In the event that Urza returns before me, tell her I'm on a task," Naruto called out as he took the paper, ran out of the organization, and utilized his confusion rocket spell to travel to the objective. "We should see," it said at the gallery. "Presently, where is it?" Naruto asked himself as he strolled around an unassuming community with the mission slip in his grasp. He showed up in the unassuming community similarly as the train showed up, so approximately 5 minutes prior, similarly as he was turning a corner. He was so immersed in the mission page that he didn't see the somebody coming around a similar corner. He possibly saw when they strolled into one another and she tumbled down. "Gracious, I'm grieved. I've been attempting to find where my central goal is found, so I wasn't giving any consideration." Naruto apologized as he helped the young lady up. Fortunately, his face was covered, so she wouldn't see him become flushed. She is a young lady at his age with long blue hair with twin bangs outlining down her face. Her fair skin appears to work in key with her delicate earthy colored eyes which sparkles from her somewhat plain outfit. A sleeveless red top with a dark heart on the stomach, a plain dark skirt contacting her mid-thigh, and high dark tights. "It's okay. I'm additionally searching for where my main goal is as well," the young lady said, before another voice hindered them. "Unhand her, you savage," a little flying white feline hollered as she flew down and arrived between the two teens. "It's okay, Carla," the blue-haired adolescent said as she got the recently named Carla. "It's a female Blissful," Naruto said as the white feline resented what he said. "Sorry, a guildmate of mine is very much like you. A talking feline with the exception of he's blue." "Gracious, you're a mage. What society are you from?" "Goodness, I'm Wendy Marvel," the blue-haired young lady asked Naruto. "Good to meet you, Wendy. My name's Naruto, and I'm an individual from Pixie Tale," he answered, just to freeze as Wendy currently has stars for eyes. "Truly, do you know Urza Red? What might be said about Mira Jane Strauss?" Wendy quickly asked, just for Carla to jeer. "How would we truly know he's a piece of Pixie Tale? I don't see an organization stamp," Carla brought up, just for Naruto to begin unfastening his raincoat, making Wendy become a brilliant shade of red. "It's here," Naruto essentially said, showing them his organization mark over his heart, grain permitting them to see the skin as his garments are covering it. "Gracious, you should be the part who acknowledged a similar journey as I'm an individual from Kate Haven," Wendy said as she showed the red-haired high schooler her society mark as he was fixing his garments. "Okay, presently to simply track down the exhibition hall," Naruto said as the two human in addition to feline endeavored to track down the historical center. After 10 minutes, the threesome ended up in a little exhibition hall, conversing with an elderly person wearing cliché archaeological wear while 19 others wore standard garments. In this way, on the off chance that there are any animals about in the vestiges, your errand is to overcome them so my group can gain from the remnants. Kindly make a point to not obliterate any of the remains, the elderly person said as he drove the two mages out of the gallery with the remainder of his group. So following a half-hour drive in an enchanted four-wheeler, which is pulling an expansion conveying different devices, the mages and archaeologists show up at the entry to the swampland and could see a few old obliterated structures. We showed up. Presently remember the remains are significant. I comprehend pixie tail individuals are somewhat horrendous, the elderly person said as Naruto sweat dropped. The red-haired adolescent basically strolled into the remains while Carla conveyed Wendy as they flew. Wendy, let me know if you spot anything while I check for any secret snares, Naruto called to the blue-haired mage. We should see nothing, Naruto said as he kept on strolling through the marsh just to stop when he runs over an enormous slope canvassed in greenery. Weird, I sense mysterious energy so it can't be an ordinary slope, in addition to its canvassed in greenery not grass, Naruto shared with himself as he put a hand upon the slope to brush away some greenery. As he brushed away more greenery, he paid heed it was a vault structure made of stone. Bouncing up on top of the arch, he happened upon a peculiar platform-like item. Presently this is not exactly right, Naruto said as he considered an entirely spotless half-circle of stone on the platform. He was going to leave, just for a hand to snatch his and hammer it on the stone circle. The second it did, a sharp article wounded through Naruto's hand and his blood dribbled onto it. He took his hand out the edge and turned around to see who did that, just to be met eye to eye with the elderly person. Why? Naruto started exclusively for the elderly person to laugh, and for the laugh to go to all-out chuckling. You mages are so gullible, not seeing a conspicuous snare when it's on display. That is the reason we picked Kate's safe house. Nobody knows who they are, so nobody cares. An individual from a well-known organization was inconvenienced, however, so I perceived how to fix it. The elderly person snickered as the construction radiated a purple light and started to shake. Naruto utilized his sorcery to fly very high as the elderly person basically strolled down to the lower part of the design. Presently, untold wealth have a place with me now. All we really wanted was a little blood penance, the elderly person shouted as the construction shined and shake all the more fiercely. Naruto! Wendy hollered as Carla flew close to the red-haired mage, similarly as different men approached the elderly person. The light and shaking halted briefly, and afterward the construction detonated, with a huge shadow in the smoke. What? We were informed untold wealth. Not a beast. One man shouted as numerous arrangements of red eyes looked at them from the smoke. Out of the smoke was an enormous reptilian beast with 3 heads associated with snake-like necks. A hydra, Naruto said as the hydra thundered and started to eat the scared men, alongside the elderly person. Such monster! I can't allow it to live, Naruto called out as he flew down to the hydra's level. Hear me, Hydra, I go by Naruto Red, and prepare for another rest. With the exception of this one will be until the end of time everlasting. He's him, the Red Shinigami? Wendy said in wonderment as Naruto expanded his arms, and a chunk of enchantment shaped in each. The Red Shinigami sent the 2 enchantment impacts at one another to make a distraction. Wendy looked as the Hydra stuck its heads out of the smoke, and for it to thunder in torment as one of its heads to raise a ruckus around town by a glimmer of orange. 2 additional heads developed and all thundered at the red-headed mage, who was above them, a red chunk of enchantment shaped in every one of their mouths, and they each terminated a light emission wizardry at Naruto. Poop crates. Naruto hollered out as the assaults hit him dead on, and a haze of smoke overshadowed him. Naruto! Wendy shouted in shock as the air cleared. She let out a murmur of alleviation as he was okay and was seen with his arms reached out forward and his hands open. Didn't anticipate that they should have the option to do that, Naruto said as Carla flew close to him. Just for him to snatch both young lady and feline as additional shots were discharged at them. I realized they regrow a head every time it gets removed, yet not the terminating radiates part, Naruto said as a tick mark developed on Carla's head. Why did you trim off its head previously? Carla shrieked at the red-haired mage. I was wanting to develop such a large number of heads that it will be stable, Naruto said as he surrounded around the Hydra. Surmise I'll simply need to make do, Naruto said as he tossed the young lady and feline higher out of sight and allowed himself to dive. An admonition would have been great, Carla shouted as she took hold of Wendy as her wings showed up. Hello, terrible. You can't get me, Naruto insulted as he immediately zoomed around the Hydra, who with each head sent chunks of red wizardry at the flying mage. Arms X protective layer X vernier, Wendy said as an enchanted circle showed up on her hand and one showed up under Naruto. Naruto, I supported your solidarity, speed, and safeguard, Wendy hollered as Naruto smiled under his scarf and cover and flew quicker around the Hydra. For what reason don't I speed things up a score? Naruto hollered as his body was encircled by a more splendid shroud of wizardry and started to fly much quicker, with the lift from Wendy and his more grounded rocket. He shaped an enormous twister encompassing the Hydra. Wendy, I want to believe that you know a few hostile spells, Naruto said as he showed up close to Wendy. The Hydra was sent off in the air by the huge cyclone, and he charged an enchanted ball in his grasp while Wendy breathed in, similarly as they were going to utilize their wizardry. The Hydra accomplished something nobody would expect. It bit the bullet of huge wings. This can't be any great, Naruto said as the Hydra flew rapidly behind them, with red chunks of enchantment charged in each mouth. The beast went after the pair and they were encircled by the red assault. From that point onward, the Hydra let out a thunder of triumph. This would be a decent spot to end this. However, I'm not going to. I'll do that in a later part. That was close, Naruto said as he and the Kate Haven individuals were in an orange circle of enchantment. My boundary hasn't felt that sort of force in quite a while. Wendy, when I let the obstruction go, I believe that you and Carla should fly back to the town. I'll manage the Hydra, Naruto said as Wendy froze as the boundary broke up. Next thing she knew, Naruto handled the Hydra away from her. What did I say? Go! Naruto shouted as he immediately showed up on the Hydra's back. Carla immediately took off as the red-haired adolescent's hands gleamed orange. The Hydra thundered as Naruto punched down between its wings, and it was sent lower with each strike. The beast immediately utilized its tail and utilized it to rip the mage away from it. The Hydra involved its long tail to have Naruto before its many heads as it thundered at him. You know, it's great for me that Wendy is gone now, Naruto started as his body shined a considerably more splendid orange. Yet again, 'cause I don't need to keep down as much any longer, Naruto said as he tore himself from the Hydra's hold and showed up over its back. The red-haired adolescent gave the Hydra one monstrous punch, which sent it colliding with the ground. Presently we should hear you thunder in torment, Naruto said as he showed up under the Hydra and utilized a kick to send it back very high. He appeared to the Hydra's right and sent it taking off once more. Simply consider how Rock Lee did to Gaara in their battle during the Chunin tests. Presently take this, Naruto said as he showed up over the Hydra and sent various sorcery radiates from his right hand. The Hydra thundered in torment as the bars sent it colliding with the ground and through its wings. Presently the Hydra answered by utilizing its enchanted impacts to rip off different heads, until it had 10 altogether. Presently every one of the heads thundered at the high schooler. "Presently we should perceive how you handle this," Naruto said as he raised his right arm over his head, and an enormous chunk of sorcery framed on it. The Hydra answered by pointing its heads up and charged bigger wads of wizardry than previously. "This is the end." Confusion. Naruto started as he then, at that point, tossed the enormous bundle of enchantment downwards. Nova! The Hydra then sent 10 huge light emissions to counter the assault. The two wizardry assaults met, and each attempted to overwhelm the other assault. On the off chance that you were more grounded, this would have been more enjoyable, Naruto shouted as he expanded his arms, and his assault overwhelmed the Hydra's assault. The bundle of wizardry endured the contradicting sorcery assault and arrived at the Hydra. It let out a last thunder as Naruto's assault detonated. "With Wendy and Carla. Carla, fly back," Wendy requested as the white feline shook her head at the youngsters respond. "It's too perilous, Wendy. He was correct when he said that we expected to run," Carla shared with the blue-haired mage. In any case, before Wendy could say any more, she was removed by a huge glimmer of light digging out from a deficit them. The two of them turned around to see an enormous twirling vault of orange-shaded sorcery. "Naruto!" Wendy cried as Carla flew back to where they last left the red-haired mage. "Back with Naruto. Presently we should see where this thing came from," Naruto said as he arrived in a huge cavity made by his assault. He then started to stroll to where the Hydra previously showed up, similarly as he was about at the obliterated construction. He heard the blue-haired mage shout his name before he was handled in an embrace. "I'm so happy you're all right," Wendy said as Naruto became flushed under his scarf and cover. "I won't go out that effectively, particularly from something so frail. I thought Hydra should be more grounded." Naruto laughed, just to be met with the moping face of Wendy. "Hello? What's with that face?" Naruto asked the moping blue-haired young lady, just to be replied by her feline. "She's frantic at you for accomplishing something so foolish. You're her most memorable companion from outside-out organization." Carla made sense of, making Naruto's befuddled eyes enlarge marginally. "Please accept my apologies for being, so that's what wild like." Naruto started to apologize as he tapped the highest point of Wendy's head, just to be removed when he requited a correspondence lacrima. "Naruto here, what's up, Mira?" Naruto asked the model as her face showed up on the lacrima. "Sorry to interrupt your central goal, however Urza requested you to be once again at the organization for something significant." The model cleared up for the more youthful adolescent. "It's okay. We just completed our central goal. I'll be back in an hour or somewhere in the vicinity," Naruto told Mira as he hung up the lacrima and set it back in his requip space. "Hello, Wendy. What about as an expression of remorse? You can come to the organization to meet Mira and my sister," Naruto asked the blue-haired young lady, who currently has stars for eyes. "We should go," Wendy said as Carla's wings showed up and they took off with Naruto behind them. Obscure to them, an individual came into the swampland when they left. "Appears as though he's gotten more grounded since last time. He's practically great," a female's voice said as she noticed the two mages fly away.